again, everybody. So it's a cold but nice sunny day in the Czech Republic. I thought we'd go for a little ride, have a little look at the scenery, and tell you guys, or update you guys rather, with what it's been like for the last 2 months being a father. So for those who saw my previous video about becoming a father, my daughter was born in August, and she is now 2 months and a week and a bit old. So we've had just over 2 months with her, and yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic so far. So we've I think I mentioned in the first video that her sleep patterns pretty much right from the beginning were fantastic. She would go to sleep around about 9-10 o'clock and then wake up about, I don't know, 1:30, 2 o'clock at night, or in the morning rather, you know, just for a little change and a feed, and then she would pretty much settle straight back down, and then we'd be good until, I don't know, about 8 o'clock in the morning. So whilst, you know, our sleep was disturbed, it wasn't disturbed too much really. Now since then she has had a few little growth spurts, and when babies have growth spurts they do have a tendency of being firstly a little bit more hungry and a little bit more sort of whingy and cryy and that kind of stuff. So she had a couple of those, but even they weren't really that bad. I think at her worst she woke up twice in the night, and that's pretty much it. So it wasn't too bad. She was quite, you know, whiny, but it was perfectly bearable. But then, so she had that. She had, I think, two of those, but the rest of the time she was just in her normal schedule, which, you know, for us was absolutely great. And then recently, and I'm really happy about this, recently she has actually been sleeping a bit longer through the night. So she has, for the last couple of nights or so, she actually was sleeping a good 6 hours continuously. And then last night was an absolute belter. Last night she slept for 8.5 hours. So we were, you know, we've not struggled too much. We've not been too tired. We've not had too much of an issue with it. My partner, bless her, when she was having those growth spurts and requiring a lot of feeding, obviously that took a lot out of my partner. But you know, apart from that, we've not struggled too much with sleep or anything. But yeah, that 8.5 hours last night was just glorious. So yeah, that's the sleeping. So other stuff, again, I mentioned in my previous video that having a baby hasn't really affected our lives that much, and 2 months later that continues to remain true. We don't, it's a really weird situation because having her hasn't really changed our lifestyle all that much. We don't really feel like parents. I don't know if this is a normal thing for people to feel, because, you know, we're well aware that we're parents. We love being parents. We absolutely adore our daughter, and we, you know, do everything we can to make her life as comfortable and great as we can. And she is our entire world. You know, she is the centre of our world and everything. But despite all of that, we just don't feel any different. I mean, I spoke about this with my partner. We speak about everything, and I'm just like, you know I'm a dad. I love being a dad, but I just don't feel like a dad. You know, it's such a strange thing, and I'd be interested to know if any of you guys out there had a similar sort of experience. Like maybe it's one of those things that, you know, kind of comes more with time. I know certainly, you know, loving someone is something that comes more with time, because when you first meet a partner, a girlfriend or whatever, you know, when you first meet them, you're infatuated with them, you fancy them, you've got a lust for them, but it's not what actual love. You know, I feel like love is one of those things that is you know, comes in time, gets stronger over time. So I wonder if, you know, because I mean we loved our daughter from the moment she was born. I mean, I will quite happily admit that I cried when she was born, but like, you know, and we feel love for her, but I feel like the actual feeling of being a parent and the feeling of, you know, that kind of thing probably comes with time. As I say, I'll be interested to know, like, from some of you guys out there who have older kids, what your sort of thoughts are on that. But yeah, so that's a kind of strange aspect to it. Other things, as I say, there's not really too much to say because our lives aren't really all that different. But you know, obviously changing nappies has become a big part of my life now. I thought that's another interesting one. For anyone out there who hasn't got kids, when before our daughter was born, my biggest concern was changing nappies. Like, just the thought of changing them and dealing with all the, you know, urine and excrement and stuff like that, it's not a pleasant thought, and it's something I thought, oh God, you know, because I want to be an active part of this. I'm not going to be one of those people that just makes my partner do everything. You know, it's as much my responsibility as anyone else's, and I've got to get involved. But I was dreading changing nappies, but as it turns out, and I'm sure you guys out there who are parents will agree with me on this, it's actually not that bad. It's not bad at all, and it's really surprising. It takes you by surprise that it's not, you know, as terrible as you imagined it was going to be. Yes, you do get covered in stuff. I mean, as much as you try and be careful, and as much as you try and clean everything up, you know, whatever, at some point in time you're gonna get covered in things. I mean, you'll be changing a nappy and baby will start weeing or whatever, and it's gonna go on you. I've had it before where I've been putting a nappy underneath her and she's just started urinating all over my hand. And as I say, like, if I was to go back to my sort of self before I became a father and say that's what's going to happen, I think my reaction would have been, oh my God, that's disgusting. But now you just kind of take it in your stride. You're just there going, oh yeah, you just weed all over my hand. Okay, cool, whatever. You know, you just wash it off afterwards. It's only a bit of bodily fluid. It's certainly different when it's your own child as well. I don't think I could change someone else's kid's nappy, but when it's your own, you're just like, oh, fine, whatever. I think on a similar sort of lines, the other big thing that I've always been disgusted by when it comes to other people's kids is saliva. Like, I always hated watching other people's kids dribble, and I still do. Like, I look at other people's kids and they've got like a load of dribble coming out of their mouth and I'm just like, but again, strangely enough, when it's your own child, you're not bothered by it, and that was something that again took me by surprise, but it was a pleasant surprise because it was something that I thought I was gonna have a bit of a struggle session with. So that was good, you know, that was really good. So yeah, basically things have been ticking along quite nicely. I'm really quite happy. I mean, she's such a great baby. She's started smiling more and more now. Like, I think a few weeks back she started sort of smiling a little bit, and now it's like, you know, every couple of seconds she's got a little grin on her face and you're just like, oh, it just melts your heart. Absolutely love it. She's got a few little toys now. She's not old enough. She's still, obviously, you know, she's only 2 months. She's not really able to play with toys or anything that much yet, but we've got a few things for her to look at. So we've got some stuff hanging off her pram for her to, you know, be looking at and whatever. She does like to look around light things, so if you've got the light on, she likes to look at that. If you're outside, she likes to look at bright shiny things. So she's starting to slowly become aware of things, but you know, early days yet, very early days. So I'm really looking forward to when she's got that tiny bit more awareness and she, you know, starts to smile and giggle a bit more and starts to, you know, explore the world around her a bit more as well. Because that's one thing I'm really loving, is just the whole, well, it's just the whole thing, like how amazing it is to see a child develop, because you know, it's crazy to think about it, that this little hang on a minute, got a bit. This little creature that can barely you know, when they come out, they have no control over their bodies, they can't really see, they can't do anything, and just over time they become more and more independent and start to explore the world around them, and it's just an absolute joy to be a part of that. But at the same time, you also have this thing in the back of your mind of, you know, I can't wait until she's that little bit older that I can start playing with her more and taking her places and showing her things. But at the same time, I have this thing in my mind of, I don't want her to grow up because she's so cute, and, you know, I don't want her to get, you know, more independent and not need us as much, because, you know, as soon as they become teenagers and they start to want more freedom, you sort of lose that, and it's you know, it's quite quick as well, because if you think you've probably got, like, you know, 10, maybe 15 years before they start to get to that stage where, you know, I mean, they steadily, between those years, like, get more and more independent, but by the time they get to about 14, 15, that's pretty much it. They're their own person now. They're not really interested in you showing them and things and stuff. They're interested in finding their own way in life, and I'm kind of not looking forward to that bit. But I mean, you know, it's one of those things, all part of growing up, and obviously, you know, it's not like, especially if you have a good relationship with your kids, it's not like, you know, you lose them or anything, but, you know, it's just seeing what she's like now and enjoying her company and that now. It's one of those things that I'm just hoping that she doesn't try and grow up too fast. I think that's the main thing. But you know, it'll be what it'll be. She will be whatever she's going to be, and that's how it is. But in the meantime, I am going to absolutely love every moment of it. I will be doing, you know, some updates as and when things happen. But as I say, at the minute, because she is still so young, and because, you know, she hasn't really started doing too much yet, there's not really an awful lot to talk about. But certainly once she starts moving around and doing things, and once funny stuff starts happening, aside from me getting covered in bodily fluids, of course, you know, I'll do more videos and sort of share my experiences with you guys. But for now, I'm going to leave this video here. As always, if you did like the video, please do give it a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. Go check out my other videos. And for now, I'll catch you guys again soon.